So, this is a vocal analysis on David Phelps, which is by far, I think, my favorite male tone. Okay, tone, not singer. No, 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 not singer. But my favorite male tone in terms of technique. I think every male vocalist should look at David Phelps and study his technique because it's perfect. It's perfect. Um, yeah, so this is a vocal analysis on him. Let's see how do you
Hello everyone, welcome back to my
analyze
channel.
this?
So today I'm gonna be analyzing another great male vocalist, that is David Phelps. He is one of my favorite gospel singer who has a fantastic vocal technique.
By the way, why didn't he and CC Winans ever collaborated? Why isn't that world colliding with that world? I mean, it's gospel, right? You don't want to do secular music. At least give me a Winans Phelps collaboration. Why didn't he collide with Whitney? Why? I don't know. Let me know in the comments because I don't live in the United States. I don't know the politics of, this the genre. And yeah,
So I don't see why not making a video about him. To make this analysis more interesting and nuanced, this video is going to be divided into 5 segments such as low
yes.
register, belting, up register, vocal agility, and vocal jam.
I mean, any excuse I get to listen to him belt is just, I'm gonna take it.
Dynamic, which means
I'm
that
gonna
this
take it.
analysis is based on objective reasons, based on
Right.
my perspective and knowledge when it comes to vocal technique. So
Yep.
yep, without further ado, let's just get into the first segment. Low register is the second most developed part of his voice. It's not great, but it's still pretty solid for a tenor. He is quite consistent down to C3 with good tonal quality and projection. Below that, he tends to sound airy, muffled, and unclear, but he has shown to be able to maintain good technique down to A2 occasionally.
Drag us all away, to drag us all away for heaven's shore
It is airy. I'll give him that.
but I know you're so afraid.
This though, that was perfect. Ooh.
But I know you're so afraid. We must have faith that we are ready.
That was good as well.
Rising again. Oh, and home eternal, Lord,
Nope. Don't like that. It sounds like he said, it sounds muffled, but kind of sounds like he's modifying his throat. In my experience with low notes, you just need to relax into it.
Nessun dorma. You are holy. Can a flower as it blooms?
Moving on to the next segment.
Here we
Belting is
go.
by far the most developed and controlled part
Not
of his
developed.
voice. His belting technique is truly
Developed.
spectacular. Like, there are very few of male vocalists who can compete with him in this area. David
Few.
can bring great chest coordination, breath management,
Very few, if any, I think, in the pop realm. Even though I would never call David Phelps pop, he's gospel. But even in gospel music, who's matched to that tonality? It's so like resonant and big. It's
vibrato, and freedom up to C#5 or G5 consistently. Sometimes he can deliver good E flat 5 or E5, which is very remarkable for a tenor. His resonance is just simply out of this world, and the
Yep.
way he modifies his vowels is absolutely brilliant.
I don't think anybody can compete with this. Woof. This has to be my favorite David clip. Something about the way the movement of the music is so moving, first of all, and then the way he attacked the note was so light and yet so resonant. It's just, it moves me. Mm. Oh, probably copyright. Yep. Did you see how it's so bright here? And then he did something to get it to be round. Ah, just love listening to it. Like that wouldn't be my preference. This, but that. This. Not the second word. He changed it. It was very slight. He changed it just before he was moving to the next word. Anyways, what's going on here? What is this? Whew. The cry, the way he cried into this kind of added a little bit more to the sound. Like it's literally the same note, and this note sounds very thin, but still in a very, very resonant way. It's not thin like any other singer. It's like it's like a softer approach, and yet still so full. Even if he didn't put that cry into it, you could still call this a big full belt. But then he puts the cry into it, and the belt becomes way bigger than it should be. Okay, it's a note higher than that. Come on. I want him to sing all the Whitney songs, all the CC songs. Why are they not singing? I mean, gospel music is basically. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but from my experience with that world, is most of the time it's covers to other gospel songs, right? To hymns and stuff like that. Why aren't you singing the 60 songs that she sings? Like his strength is perfect. I think that song is not Whitney. It's not CC's, and that's a cover. Why didn't you cover that? I'm trying to think of other CC songs that Never Walk Alone. I think he did cover that song though. Anyways, what's going on with the politics there? Let me know. Tighter. That is crazy. That clip is crazy. Mm. That's heady,
Moving on
very
to the
heady.
next segment. Head voice is absolutely by far the least developed part of his voice.
It's very interesting why male vocalists are not interested in hit voice. I mean, in my culture, okay, in Israel, you can barely I can't think of any singer that sings any male singer that sings in head voice or touches head voice. Um, it's very interesting why they don't. It's a part of the voice.
Truly lacks
Anyways, and developing head voice also develops your chest voice because it all mixes together. Anyways,
a
whatever.
proper vocal fold closure, so they rather sounds airy, weak, and thin. but there's nothing much to worry about since he's a male vocalist.
Is love.
Yeah, that was nice though. Oh, I like that.
Moving on to the next segment. David is not a typical of a riffing vocalist. His singing style is mainly just belting, but
Yeah,
he has proven that he is an agile vocalist who can handle complex vocal runs with such speed and precision, especially when you take the fact that he's a gospel singer into consideration.
I would definitely say though that this is his least developed part of his technique. He's not riffing too much, and when he does, it's not moving as fast. I would say it's like an Avery Wilson. But yeah, but that and even that movement is very classical as opposed to an R&B ish um, sound. You know what I mean? That sounded very much like, yeah, opera. Very short,
Moving on to the last segment.
which
David is
is,
one of the gospel singer who has a great control in volume, aka vocal dynamic. He can do various
oh,
types of vocal dynamic really well.
yeah.
By a choir and folks.
That moment, it moves me.
And folks. There is a
Mm,
river.
beautiful.
We will part no more.
By the way, this, I know some people would disagree with that, but this is head voice to me. This is what I would call head voice. It's part of head voice. I mean, the softer chest tone is head. I would call it a mix, but whatever. 'Cause people love to argue technique, and everybody has ideas that don't necessarily match the other person's ideas. If you know, um, if you've seen a couple of vocal teachers on YouTube or in real life, you would know that one person's terminology does not match the others. But I don't think you can call this chest.
We will part no more.
That is definitely heady to me.
So after watching these long as 5 segments, we can pull up a conclusion that David Phelps is a remarkable vocalist. His technique
Right?
is truly fantastic that makes him to be one of the best male vocalists of all time, if
Yep.
not the best. So yeah, I think that's
Um,
all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it.
I'll tell you something about David. First of all, he needs to get back to work because I want to. What's going on with him? I don't think I've seen him perform live for a while now, maybe a year or so, and I really want to see him perform live again. Also, I don't think he goes up to the D's anymore, the E's. You know, I don't think he touches those notes anymore. Most of the clips that I've seen in that area were older clips, and I wonder if that's intentional or what's going on there. But Anyways, the first time he's gonna hit the stage, I'm going to definitely react to it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that it's either a gospel song that I know of, you know, with a little like soul flair to it, rather than country flair to it, and then or that it's a ballad, secular ballad. I mean, that's what I'm really hoping for, but I can't have the whole cake and eat it too. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on David's technique and this video in general in the comments. See you in the next video.